Abortions and pro-life. Am I out of order?
Relates to what?
Abortions and pro-life.
Yes, okay, go ahead.
Recently, an act was passed, the National Defense Authorization Act, put through by the President, and it relates to being a pro-life supporter, and more specifically, it has to do with those people who are on the list to support life, pro-lifers, are on what's called a terror list. And on that terror list is headed by the FBI. And this particular terror list would enable officials from the government to knock at your door and arrest you, confine you to a military prison without legal course of action, without a lawyer, for any specific length of time that they determine. Have you heard anything about this at all? My question really involves, what can I do, being frustrated with this, what can I do to combat that? It's probably an off-the-wall type question.
No, it's not an off-the-wall question. It's a real question. And just so you know, to put it in perspective, Hitler was elected by the people in 1932. And in 6 years, soldiers were in the streets, going into homes, finding the people with disabilities, taking them out to go to the centers for testing. They never came back. So far as what you're saying, the first time that an abortionist was killed, they investigated all of us. I mean, all of us who were active in the pro-life movement. The FBI was there investigating us. Yes, I mean, I don't know how much they know. I mean, who knows what in terms of the government. But I can tell you this much: that when I was on Crossfire opposite Kevorkian, I was chairman of pediatrics at St. Vincent's in Bridgeport, Connecticut. And they called me to be on Crossfire, and I said, well, I have to be sure that I have somebody to cover for me. Call me back in 2 hours. And so they did, and then an emergency occurred. So I had to take care of the baby at C-section, get somebody else to take care of the baby. And then I got in my car. I drove as fast as I could to LaGuardia. I pulled in the first parking lot. First parking space stopped. I literally hurried to the gate and got in the door of the plane, and they closed it right behind me. And then flew to Washington. I got there and I got a cab, went out there. They put makeup on my face. And now I'm on the TV opposite Kevorkian, and he had a dossier on me already in terms of, and now he got so upset he's shaking his finger. You and your Catholic dogma. You know, there was nothing that I said that was Catholic, that kind of thing. So should you be concerned? Yes, you should be concerned. And yes, thank God we live in this United States. It's a wonderful place to live. But we have not been paying much attention. You know, a large number of people who voted in the previous election didn't vote this time. The statistic that I heard is 50% of the Catholics voted for one side, and the other 50% voted for the other side. And yes, we had a lot of prayer and a lot of campaigning and a lot of concern, but it wasn't enough. And so should you be concerned? Yes, you should be concerned. What's going to happen? I don't know. I have testified multiple times in court, including in the courts in Connecticut, when I was there, of people who were arrested, to be there to defend them in terms of what they were arrested for at the abortion clinic and the like. I always thought it was better for me to stay out of jail than it was to go get in jail, but because I thought I could do more out of jail than I could in jail. But yes, it's serious matter. Should you be concerned? Yes, but you shouldn't be the only one. Everybody, everyone in this room and everyone else should be concerned. But your concern needs to be when you go to the License Bureau and they ask you, do you want to be an organ donor? We should say, why are you asking me this? You ought to be, you're a License Bureau. You ought to be finding out if I can